President Uhuru Kenyatta has banned the sale of alcoholic drinks in restaurants and eateries and ordered the closure of all bars indefinitely. In directives meant to contain the rapid spread of COVID-19, President Kenyatta ordered that establishments found defying the directive be stripped of their licenses permanently. Now, following an extraordinary summit with the Council of Governors, the nationwide curfew has been extended by another 30 days. Chemutai Goin has the details of the resolutions arrived at in the meeting.
136 days since the first COVID-19 case was recorded, and the president is concerned about the surge in the number of infections. Today, 17,975 confirmed cases, including 285 deaths. President Kenyatta, who had warned that a sharp rise in the infections would result in stricter measures, living up to his word. Kenyatta, angered by the casual manner in which directives issued to contain the spread were being seemingly ignored.
The harsh reality, my friends, is that we are at war. At war with an invisible enemy who is relentless in their desire for destruction. It's a war that we shall either drown together or we shall hold each other up and see the glory of God as we celebrate our victory against this invisible enemy.
Governors, who are the biggest crusaders of a lockdown, over fears that the few medical facilities would be overrun by a wave of fully established community transmission, failing to convince the president, who instead opted for a personal responsibility anthem.
Citizens must balance between their individual rights and their responsibility to each other.
But literally coming short of a lockdown, the 21-day nationwide curfew due to lapse on August 6th has since been extended for another 30 days. Closing hours for restaurants and eateries, which had been allowed to operate between 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. adjusted back to 7 p.m. The eateries have been banned from selling alcohol.
Contact tracing of the recent surge of infections indicates that our socializing without regard to protective behavior, particularly in environments serving alcohol, is becoming one of the greatest risk factors in our country.
In this regard, President Kenyatta announced that all bars will remain closed until further notice, with a directive to the Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, that establishments found defying the order be permanently stripped of their licenses. Mutyambai further ordered to file a weekly report to the Ministry of Interior on establishments caught in the act for further action. Police officers and national administration officers in whose areas of jurisdiction there is a breach of guidelines will also be sanctioned personally.
We mourn 280 Kenyans who have lost their lives to the cruel virus. There will be more. The only question is whether we shall emerge with low numbers of death or we are going to suffer a catastrophe.
Days after Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja and Kasipul Kabondo Member of Parliament Ongondo Were were caught on camera flouting directives, and with several political leaders preaching water and drinking wine, the president read them the Riot Act, that going forward, no one will be spared.
All the measures that I will be announcing today shall be applied to all citizens, regardless of their social or political standing.
And as the government moved in to boost preparedness in the devolved units, President Kenyatta gave the Health Ministry the authority to convert schools, stadiums and other government amenities into treatment and isolation centers.
That the Ministry of Health will develop a protocol to temporarily retain retired ICU staff and anesthesiasts to support the medical staff assigned to dealing with serious COVID-19 cases in the counties.
With supremacy wars dampening preparedness, especially in the devolved units, President Kenyatta called for a unified approach in tackling the COVID monster to facilitate reopening of the country and rebuilding of livelihoods crushed by the pandemic. The president also taking a swipe at countries that have refused to embrace the COVID-19 reality.
I would rather we told each other the honest truth and arm our people with the capacity to fight a known enemy rather than one we pretend or who we pretend does not exist.
Tanzania has declared itself COVID-19 free and is running affairs with little regard to the pandemic. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.